Hi everyone, Rabbi Abe here. So I was having a discussion with one of my coaching clients about this idea of self-sabotage. Now let's think about it for a second. Do you know if you're sabotaging yourself? Perhaps you're aware of it, but maybe you're not. Okay, and why would a person sabotage themselves? I mean, why would we do such a thing? I mean, how does that work? How do you stop sabotaging yourself? Okay, so I'm going to get into a little bit of the discussion. Actually, it could be a deeper discussion, and I think you can immediately relate to what I'm discussing over here within the framework of self-sabotage. Not what others do, what you do to yourself. So let's understand some of the rules, because there are rules, right, that our soul operates by and that our body operates by, okay? They work differently. So our soul is a principle of light. That's what it is. It comes from light. Its character is light. What is light? And this is something we'll be getting into the crash course, okay? Which, if you're not registered for it and you would like a spot, it's really, I don't know if it's full or not. But anyway, email info@rabbieabe.com and just put crash course. So what does that mean? It's light. Well, our soul is a receptacle that holds positive energy of fulfillment. Its character, and the best way to say this, it's a sharing force. That's all it does. It knows, in fact, within our DNA, we know what needs to happen. We know what needs to be done. We know the right thing to do. We know to handle every situation. People talk about the subconscious, the superconscious. We don't have labels. We talk about soul. Yes, there are different levels of soul. That's fine. But basically, the soul is the force. It's a force of light. It exists within us. It knows exactly what needs to happen in the most correct, right way for us and for everybody else. But we have another component, okay? And I'm sure you've guessed it by now. We have a body. Now, our body has a different intelligence. We're talking about intelligent energy here. It's not just a body. Our body functions in the physical world. Our soul is a spiritual force, which is not limited to the physical world. It is limited to our body, which houses it. And our body houses this energy. And the linking system is our blood. And I won't go into it, but every organ contains a piece of this soul. And then there are different levels of soul, okay? So, which is part of our consciousness itself. And all the stuff we're not aware of, okay? All the stuff we're not aware of. But internally, we are aware of it. So what does that mean? Well, our soul knows exactly the truth. We are separated from that. There's a natural separation between the body energy and the soul energy. What is the body energy? Me. That's the short form. It's me. It's all about me. It's our ego. It's our survival. It's the things that are necessary. And lots of things which are not necessary, but I want. It's the desire, the pure desire of the body, and the impure desire of the body. When I say impure, of course we have desires that must be met. It comes from the body. We have impure things, which again, we want, we don't need, they're not good for us, but we still want them anyway. Okay? Why on earth would we sabotage ourselves? Well, our body and our soul have a conversation. And again, I'm making this very, at the simplest way to explain it. There is a conversation. And there is a battle. There's friction between what the soul wants, what the soul knows is correct, and what the body wants. Our body wants right now. In other words, the raw energy of the body, we call it the self-desire. Desire only for itself. That's what the body wants. Feed me, comfort me, take care of me, give me pleasure, give me what I want now. Now, there's a balance, and the counterbalance is the soul. The soul, and again, depending on how sensitive a person is to their soul, that's a conversation in itself. Why is one more sensitive? Why can one more get the signals or the messages from internally from your soul that already has the right messages and everything else that you need, but we don't necessarily hear it? In other words, that music is playing all the time, but we don't necessarily hear it because we are disconnected from it to whatever degree. To a large degree, to a small degree, depending on what? Oh, so a limited part of this conversation would go something like this. If you act the way your soul acts, you're more connected to your soul. Meaning what? There's something in Kabbalah that explains the law of affinity. And that's comes from Kabbalistic teaching, thousands of years old. Of course, many other people speak about the similar idea. Law of similars, similarities attract, okay? Opposites do not attract. Similars attract. When we say, when you like a person, what do you say? I like you. Think about it. What are we saying? I like you. I'm like you. And that's why I like you, because I can relate. Similarities connect with each other. That's a fact. But since our body is one thing and our soul is another thing, it's contrary. It must be that way. In order for us to do the work that we came to do in this world, that needs to be that way. And therefore, we can be challenged. Now, when I act in accordance to my soul, which knows the right thing to do, which has the power to overcome if I really desire it, then my body connects to the energy of the soul. And you know what? I'm going to feel better, actually. Because when my body is in line with my soul, we feel better. We feel happier. We feel more worthy. In other words, where does the feeling of worthiness come from? I mean, if you ever ask the question, one person feels worthy, not entitled. That's a different thing. Worthy and entitled are two completely separate different things. One is good, one is not so good. Worthy means, I feel I can receive. It's the difference between, and I'll just give you a quick analogy. Let's say, you're having a difficult time and you live in a neighborhood and you know all your neighbors and, you're having a really difficult time financially. You can't buy food and you need to go around now to all your neighbors and say, knock on their doors and say, listen, I need the handout. I need money for food. Can you help me? You need to go to this one. Can you help me? How do you feel? And you go to the next one. Can you help me? And you go to the next one. Can you help me? I mean, to say the least, won't be easy and probably quite embarrassing. There'll be a shame. You'll feel ashamed. What's the shame? Well, I have to ask you for help. I can't help myself. And again, it's not just asking for help, because this is our soul talking. Our soul knows. It only has the ability of sharing. That's our soul, by the way. Our soul doesn't want to receive or take anything from anybody. That's the pure essence of the soul. The opposite. It only knows how to give and help others. That's what the soul knows. So taking or receiving from other people, especially in kind of a circumstance, it feels shameful. And there's a feeling of shame that comes, we can call it guilt, but it's really a deeper level of guilt. It's called a shame, the shame. In Kabbalah, it's called bread of shame. Bread of shame. You're receiving some sort of sustenance in a shameful way. It's like, imagine, if you're a young boy or a girl, if you really like baseball and you're playing in the little league and you're not that great of a player, and then you happen to overhear, you did really well in a game, you hit the ball a little bit and someone threw it and they didn't catch it and this and that, and somehow, you stole 2 bases and you're a hero and everything else and you're feeling so amazing. And then you happen to be passing by your father and the coach, and you happen to hear your father say to the coach, "Thanks, coach, for telling the players to throw the game. There'll be a little something extra in your paycheck this week." How do you feel now? You feel good that you helped win the game for your teammates? No. You feel embarrassed and ashamed. You didn't do it. You really didn't do it. Your father paid the coach to throw the game just so you'd feel better. But you don't feel better. Now that you know the truth, you feel much worse. Of course, if you were working really hard, and I mean, if that's your thing, and when you really earned it yourself, of course you would feel better. You'll feel great. You'll feel amazing. You helped win the game. What's my point? That feeling comes from our soul. So the feeling of shame comes from our soul. But imagine, same scenario, knocking on the door. Imagine it's not you. You're good. But there's a neighbor down the street who needs help. And that neighbor they're really desperate. So, you decide, I'm going to go to all my neighbors and I'm going to demand that they participate together with me to help this family. Guys, get together. Listen, someone on the block is really having a difficult time. Give me $20. Give me $50. Here, there. You can even demand, right? You can be strong with your desire because your receiving is not for you. It's not for you. And therefore, you even feel amazing that you're helping this family. It's a good feeling. What's my point? Self-sabotage. That's what we're talking about. Self-sabotage comes from an accumulation of that bread of shame idea. Again, something we learn about in Kabbalistic teachings. In the seminar, we'll talk about it. This bread of shame has an effect on our life. And there's different ways of payment. You see, when we've received, we haven't earned, we're lazy, we're complacent, we don't help when we have an opportunity to help, we don't overcome some trait, we're lazy in ourselves, meaning, it's easy for me to judge, so I judge. I just act naturally. But acting naturally is sometimes not the answer, and often not the answer, because our nature can be selfish. It can be selfish. And so if I don't make the effort, if I don't resist, if I don't make the effort to overcome maybe character traits, maybe an action with someone else, maybe some work that I need to do, if I don't push myself to overcome a difficulty, if I don't push myself to maybe transform something, if I don't push myself to help when I can, but I don't. I go home instead of helping my friend, whatever. I say I'm busy. I'm not really busy, but I'm busy. What's the result? Well, there's an internal struggle. There's an internal payback that will occur. Again, I may not notice it. I don't know where it's coming from. But remember, it is our soul that is in control. Remember that. Our soul is in control. It rhymes. And it's true. Because our soul will cause us to do things that we will or lose some or not gain something. That's our soul. It's kind of retribution. It's evening the energy balance because our soul needs to do that. Otherwise it can't, right? It can't. It can't exist in a balanced way within us without evening the score. Who evens the score? We do. Unconsciously. Where does self-sabotage come from? That's where it comes from. One of the ways of not receiving something or sabotaging yourself, and it's completely unconscious perhaps, that's the way. That's the reason. How do you stop it? How do you stop self-sabotage? Take the opportunities that come along. Do your best. Take the opportunities that come along. It's difficult. It's not comfortable. That's okay. Push through it when it's for helping someone or for when it's resisting the urge to judge someone, when it's resisting the urge to hurt someone, when it's resisting the urge to talk about somebody. Not good. Not good things, not positive things. Keep it to yourself. Why does everyone need to know? There's a lot here in this, but my hopes in this video was to just give us an understanding that we do this. This is possible. Self-sabotage is possible, but also removing the sabotage is also possible. We're in control. I heard a motivational speaker one time saying something I always remember. I'll share it with you. He said, how many people here in the room, he was talking publicly, how many people here in the room believe that they can do one thing this week to make their life worse? Of course, crazy question, but all the hands in the room go up. Well, of course, we can do something to make our life worse. And how many people in the room can do one thing that will make your life better? And that's the truth. Not only one thing, we can do many things. But let's start with one thing. Think about one thing that you can do that you can overcome and transform something in your life. And it will require a push. It requires to resist against your nature. Well, it's against it. It's the nature of the body. But it is the nature of the soul. The nature of the body. Body doesn't want to. Soul needs to push and say, no. Body, get out of the way. I'm going to do this thing. It's not easy. I'm lazy. It's uncomfortable. This is where I want to go. But I want to push through it. And you will see, you will begin to feel more connection. You'll begin to feel happier. You will. You'll begin to feel, and you know what? You will begin to not. You may not notice it. I can't tell you now how to notice it, but you will not be sabotaging yourself. Why? Because you are more in line with your soul, and your soul doesn't sabotage anything. No. Your soul brings you to all the right circumstances. It puts you in the right place at the right time. Our soul is connected with the universe that has already all this stuff in the mainframe of the computer, but our body does not. And so this is how we gain more connection. Anyways, more to come, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Again, crash course coming up soon. We're, working out the registration details. info@rabbieabe.com. Crash course in the subject line. And I'll see you soon. All the best.